Hi, this is Carol Fraser from Carol's Organic Kitchen, and we've started a documentative series called Eczema Uncovered. And today I'm going to talk to a parent of a 7-year-old boy who suffers with eczema, and the mother is Gina Gentles. The mother is Jean Gentles, and I'm going to give her a call right now so she can give her perspective as a parent of a child living with eczema. Hi Jean.
Morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much for coming on this morning to talk with me.
No problem.
So, what I wanted to, as you know, we're recording, we're doing this documentative series, and we just wanted to get your perspective as a parent of a child living with eczema, but maybe you could tell us a little bit, just to introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Gina, and I've got a son who's 7, who's currently got eczema, and he's had it for the last, I'd say, 4 years. And I've been managing it with his diet. Well, I've tried to manage it with his diet and loads of different creams. I've been prescribed by a doctor or recommended via social media.
So he was first diagnosed around the age of a toddler, 3, 2.
Yeah.
And what have you been using, and how effective have any of the treatments been so far?
With the doctors, I've been using steroid cream, so he's had, I can't remember some of the names now, Elcon cream, which is really strong. He's had Dermazeam, and he's had hydrocortisone. So I use the Elcon when it's really aggressive, and then when it starts to calm down, I use the hydrocortisone. Then once it's cleared up, he will use Epaderm to bath with and to cream with, like numerous times a day. And I've also tried shea butter with loads of different essential oils, which doesn't really agree with him. But I can't specifically say which essential oil he doesn't agree with him, because when I buy them, they've got loads of them in there.
So tell me really about the so you're applying the creams several times a day. Once that calms down, you're giving him the ointment baths. Is that like some sort of oil bath?
Yeah, so
treatment?
The Epaderm is what he will use it as like a soap.
Right.
And then in the water I will put alleviating.
Right.
Which is a bath ointment that will keep his skin moist.
And has any of anything that you've been using prescriptively or over the counter really helped it along the way for a certain period? Is there anything that you're managing?
The steroid cream will get rid of it and keep it at bay, but it will always return. I don't know what makes him flare up, because I don't change our soap powder. I'm yet to put my finger on what it is. I thought maybe the water was really hard for his skin, so I bought a filter for my shower, which the last couple of weeks seems to be okay. He hasn't had much flare-ups.
And you're doing some work on his diet?
Yeah, so I'm trying to cut out dairy, so he doesn't drink cow's milk. He drinks coconut milk at the moment. And just trying to find some dairy-free yogurts. So I bought him some natural Greek yogurt, but he didn't like it. So I'm going to order some fruits to try and mix it with, to try and do the same flavours.
Yeah.
That he's had in the past, that mimic them.
And have you found, how did you find that dairy was a trigger for him?
Because I have eczema myself, and every time I used to have dairy, I used to come up with eczema on my neck. So I'm just trying the same for him.
So, and that helped you. And how long's he been off dairy?
About 6 months. I'd say 6-7 months.
When did you first have eczema in your lifetime?
I think I was probably about 2, 3.
And how did you overcome the eczema eventually?
I just grew out of it, but I do have it quite bad on my hands. So if I was to like peel potatoes or wash up, like the washing up liquid aggravates my hands, the gloves itch my hands. But
Right.
I know how to manage it at home.
I see.
So I myself I'm forever greasing my hands to keep them moist.
What are you using that's helping your hands at the moment?
I'm using just Vaseline.
And that protects the outer layer.
Yeah.
So you're managing that quite well. So it's really obviously your son that you're more concerned about you're battling with at the moment.
Yeah.
So how long has he been off dairy, and have you noticed any changes yet?
I've noticed a change within I'd say the last couple of weeks. I couldn't tell you if it's because I've changed the shower head or if he's fully off dairy.
Yeah.
But then sometimes, like today, he's at my mum's while I'm at work, and my mum, he will have yogurt and stuff, and even though I tell her that I don't give it to him, mum doesn't like to tell the kids no. And where I've got two younger kids and they can have it, you know, she doesn't want my son to feel
Left out
and like that. So sometimes he will still have it. But I speak to my son and I do say to him, you know, you've got eczema the same way I have, and we're going to try, not saying it's forever, but just try so we can pinpoint what it is that's causing your skin to break out.
Exactly. That's what you've just got to do a kind of process of elimination to see where and have you maybe spoken with the doctors about have they spoken to you about his diet? I'd be interested to know.
No, they just want to give me steroid creams and just say, just keep creaming his skin with the Epaderm. And the thing is as well, the Epaderm's all right now, it's winter, but during the summer it makes him sweat, so he doesn't even like using it. And then if I give him something like Aveeno, which is like a lotion, he will cream his skin now, and then like 5 minutes later his skin looks like he hasn't creamed it.
So Aveeno's not working at all. His skin's still very dry.
Yeah.
What are you doing to keep his skin moistened? Or is there any...
I'm trying to encourage him to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
And just got to keep creaming his skin.
So the cream, as in the prescription creams that you're getting from the GP?
Yeah, so it could be Vaseline, it could be prescription creams, the Epaderm, or if he is using the Aveeno, he just got to do it a lot more than he would do if it was a thicker cream.
So you purchased Dermazeam, which is one of our creams.
Yeah.
And as you know, that's a plant-based natural cream with organic ingredients, but it does contain essential oils. How did you find using it?
It was fine. He didn't have no breakout, but I just think that I should have bought a bigger tub to allow him to use it more often, rather than using it like once or twice a day. But because I didn't want to, I was trialing it, but I just don't think that was a big enough tub to be able to see a difference.
Yeah, because
he definitely didn't break out with it.
That's good news. I mean, some people need to apply it more liberally, so they get the larger 500 ml.
Yeah.
And it's not usual that you get creams in that type size jar, unless it is something like Dipravase or E45, the big tubs.
Yeah.
But we recognise that because we're focusing on people with eczema. It was something that I created at a time when my daughter had terrible eczema, and I recognise that larger jars are going to be needed for people who need to use it all over the body and more liberally.
Yeah.
But if you were using it daily just like any normal moisturizer. I don't know if you've noticed, a little goes a long way.
Yeah.
So that would obviously last you a lot longer. And obviously you haven't got to be paying the shipping costs back and forth if you're buying the 120ml jars. We introduced the 120ml jar because we give a 30-day money-back guarantee, people who may have some reservations, and there may be others who just use it for face or hands. But with consistent use, you'll find if it's working for your son, what it does is repair the broken areas on the skin, it calms down the inflammation, and it also eases the itching to the point some people say there's no itching, so the skin is able to then repair, and then the dark marks start to fade. When you first applied it to his skin, did you see any changes?
Like, his skin was glowing. But that's it, really. Mostly the glow.
Right. And you were applying
it did last a lot longer than the Aveeno. And even the Vaseline, I think it because you know when you put Vaseline in the skin, it shines and it does look nice, but this had more of a glow. I don't have to describe it like.
No, I understand exactly what you mean.
Women have a glow.
I mean, some people buy it. I love to use it. That's all I use on my skin now, and it does give that healthy glow to the skin, almost like you've been sun-kissed.
Yeah.
So, and the moisture, how long did the moisture, compared to what you've been using as well, because you mentioned Aveeno and others, how long does the moisture last on his skin when you apply it?
I think he could get away with using it twice a day, like in the morning and in the evening. But especially when we're home, I always encourage him to do it 3 times a day. Yeah, so sometimes what I would do is that when we're at home during the day, like the afternoon, I'd make him use the Vaseline or the Aveeno, and then when he's going to bed, I'll let him use the cream that I purchased from you.
So if you decide to purchase a larger jar, but for now, if you were to use the Dermazeam in the morning and the evening, and you're finding that is actually working, there wouldn't really be necessary to use it 3 times a day, because it is quite hydrating. You could try it out every single day, possibly twice a day, and if you're finding that he might need something in the middle of the day, then apply it again. But if not, leave it and see how it's going to work on his skin, because for those it does work for, it's really effective. We've had less than a handful of people that it hasn't worked for. In the time we launched Dermazeam since last year, we've issued 2 refunds and 1 person who said it worked for her, but it didn't work for her son. So if you find when you've applied it and you found, okay, it's doing something, keep going, use it every single day and see how it goes. And then I'll get back in touch with you and find out how you're doing as well. Thank goodness he's not reacting to the oils, which is frankincense. And frankincense helps with the breaking of the skin. It repairs and rejuvenates, and the lavender helps ease the itching. And it's also good at lightening the dark marks that appear on the skin, and it calms down the inflammation as well. So he's at school, is he?
No, he's homeschooled.
He's homeschooled. Okay. So he's not interacting with any other children or anything at the moment. No. Just his but how does he manage as a child growing up with eczema? Is he affected in any way? Does it impact on his life in any shape or form? I know what you told me about his food. That might be one area, but physically.
Do you mean with his confidence?
Yeah.
No. Because I used to, always wear long sleeves,
Yeah.
and I'd always wear long trousers. So I don't really highlight it, if you know what I mean. I wouldn't be like, oh, you've got eczema. The only time it's really mentioned if sometimes he'll say, oh, Mum, how come my younger two are lighter than him, and me and him are dark? And I'll explain to him it's because we have eczema, and where the skin's broken and we scratch it. So I explain that sort to him, but he will wear anything. He loves shorts and t-shirts, and the only thing that I just make him aware of is your skin's dry and needs creaming.
Yeah, that's brilliant.
But apart from that, he wouldn't, and he's allergic to fish as well, so he wouldn't go near fish. So if my mum or he is somewhere where there's fish, he would say, oh, Mum, I need to leave, or I don't want to be around with there's fish because it's going to make my eczema flare up.
Yeah. Oh wow, he's aware, isn't he?
He wouldn't go near it.
So, fish, shellfish is another, some people have allergy to seafood who have eczema, and there's other allergies as well. I was a head chef at a preschool as an allergy chef, and there were certain trigger foods, and because I was able to create meals to take out the main allergens and some rare allergies as well, I was able to cook good meals for all children, and as a nutritionist make sure it was all balanced. Now, I just wondered, with your son you mentioning that allergy, has anyone ever suggested you having him allergy tested?
I actually have already, and fish didn't even come up. They said that he's fine with fish.
Oh, that's strange.
So
What any other allergies come out of that? None at all.
No.
Well, Mum, you're doing a good job in terms of removing the dairy to see how that might be a trigger, and with the filter as well, obviously soft water.
Yeah.
Just this morning I was thinking, because I have a body exfoliating scrub with dead sea salt, and whilst at some stage of the eczema it may be a bit too sensitive and painful to exfoliate, when the skin's dry, it's starting to flake, and you need to slough away the dead skin, it encourages new cell growth. But you can add it to the bath like you're doing the oilatum. The salts also soften the water. You have the dead sea salts and the minerals which help to repair the skin. So that's also something that you could use, and maybe in place of the oilatum. It has coconut oil. It has things like jojoba oil, which mimics the pH balance of the skin as well.
Okay, is that on your website?
It is on the website, yes. And
I'll have a look at it.
Yeah, if you wanted to trial it, you can purchase it in a gift set form. So you have different treatments in one package, which as well you could use for yourself, for your hands, with the Dermazeam skin renewing cream or the lemongrass body butter. But you're going through that process with the dairy. See how that goes. I'll keep in touch with you, and we can talk as well, perhaps if it's not working with the dairy, or you're finding it is working to some extent, but there might be more work that needs to be done. We can kind of go through an elimination process, and I can guide you on the main triggers and start with another thing and the next, and we can see whether there is anything else that is actually in his diet that's causing the flares. But it can be external, because some children, adults, have what you call contact dermatitis. So it can be environmentally triggered as well. But you're on the right path, and I can see that you're doing what you can to help him, so that's a good thing. And he seems like a happy child. He's quite confident, and being homeschooled as well, which is great for his confidence too, with you being there for him. So it's absolutely great. Now, is there anything maybe, especially with you having suffered with eczema yourself in the past as a child, you can say to any of the parents out there that may have just had their child recently diagnosed with eczema, or they've noticed a really angry rash, they're not sure, what sort of things, what could you say to them to offer them some kind of tips or information?
Firstly, not to think it's your fault, not to feel guilty, especially if the mum has eczema before, and you just think that, oh, I'll pass it on to my child, and you know what battles you've been through, and you know what you assume your child's going to go through that. And I'd say go to your doctors, yeah, but seek someone like yourself that works in the natural field to help, because the steroid creams will get rid of it now, but it's not, I don't like using it on myself, especially when I was younger. You just think, what damage is it doing? And like, if you're breastfeeding, maybe look at what you're eating. If you're giving them Aptamil or Eczema, maybe look into that sort of milk, and just maybe focus on a diet, and maybe keep a diary of what the child is intaking, so you know, okay, this might be contributing to the flare-ups, this might not, this might be good for the skin, and just do a lot of research on foods. Because even though I say I cut out dairy, I've also seen that white rice is not good, and we eat a lot of white rice, so I am doing a lot of research into things that contribute to his flare-ups, but you know, it's a slow process as well.
Yeah, I mean, you hit one.
I mean, my son's used to a lot of stuff. It's hard to get him to try it. So yeah, just be confident and just embrace it as well. It's not the worst thing. It's not, you know, it's bad. We don't want our kids to have these skin conditions, but it's not the worst. And just don't focus on it to make your child become conscious that they have it. And then as well, if another child does ever go to your child and say, oh, what's that on his skin? Let your child explain what it is before you, as a parent, try to rush in and intervene and be, oh, no, it's just, you know, let your child explain what it is, and let them know what it is as well, so they are able, if you're not there, to explain it to someone.
Yes, absolutely. So they don't feel self-conscious about it, that they have to, you know, cover it up and say, oh, it's just a rash, or feel, feel that, oh, it's something I have to, I feel ashamed of, or whatever.
Yeah.
No, that's very good advice. Thank you.
Cool.
And I don't know if we've had this conversation about the eczema group that I run on Facebook, but it's there if anybody wants to join, and there is information. There are other people like you who are giving their story. We're going to have in the future an expert speaker on stress and managing stress, because that's a trigger to a lot of people. And I also post things like live cooking demos and recipes and nutritional information. So I can send you the link if I haven't done already. Have I sent you the link already? No. So I have to remember, I'll send you the link after this. I'll email it to you. If you wish to join, you're more than welcome.
Okay then.
Thank you very much for talking to us this morning. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Because we're a family-run business. There's myself, my son, and my daughter. Before she was even eating clean, she was getting results, but it's got better and better.
As well as dealing with the eczema at that time, I was dealing with the harsh realities of growing up.
They wouldn't let us in. I don't think they believed that I was the host. I'm passionate about what I do, and I share what I do. And she's a living testimony. I don't want to cry.